Hi guys, we are from Group 5. We will present about financial statement analysis. Here are our group members from left: Shazlina, Najwa, Hafiza, Iman and Saifullah.
Hi guys, I'm Iman. So today I'll be explaining to you guys the company background of Tasco Berhad. Tasco Berhad was incorporated in Malaysia on September 1974 under the name of Trans-Asia Shipping Corporation Sdn Berhad. 1 year later, the company commenced its business offering custom brokering services. Tasco had then expanded their logistics solution by providing air and sea freight forwarding, trucking, warehousing and project management. On December 2001, the company was converted to a public limited company under the name of Trans-Asia Shipping Corporation Berhad. 6 years later, Tasco was listed on Bursa Malaysia, and in 2019, the company officially switched their name to Tasco Berhad. Now, Tasco Berhad is principally engaged in as a total logistic solutions provider. Now, let's proceed to Tionam Logistic Holding Berhad. Tionam Logistic Holding Berhad was founded and established by Ong Yung Nyok back then in 1975. They started to commence its business in 1975 as a small cargo business handling consolidated cargo and micro distribution within Peninsular Malaysia. In 1978, Tionam began its expansion plan and became an incorporated enterprise, and the company started to penetrate the global market. In 1984, the company managed to expand across the border to Singapore. Later in 1992, Tionam was listed in Bursa Malaysia and started its reefer trucking division and extended its reach into Thailand. They then ventured into a new business, which is the commercial and industrial property development for warehouse and factories, and in 2013, Tionam opened its first automated storage and retrieval system, ASRS, warehouse in Shah Alam. In 2017, the company commenced its operation on the e-commerce logistics and also opened their branches in China and Vietnam and began their Asian cross-border trucking deliveries. Now, the company provides not only courier and transportation services but also provides total logistic solutions.
Assalamualaikum and good day. I am Shazlina and I will be presenting on the industry analysis. The logistic industry analysis of Tasco Berhad and Tionam Logistic Holdings Berhad will be based on Porter's 5-process model. It provides insight to the competitive environment and sustainability and determines the industry weakness and strength. This model has 5 aspects, which number 1 is the threat of new entrants, the threat of substitute products and services, the bargaining power of buyer and suppliers, and the intensity of rivalry among competitors in industry. For key players like Tasco and Tionam, the threat of new entrants is low. This is because new competitor will face challenges due to first, economy of scale. Tasco services segment offers integrated logistics solutions that include warehouses, air, sea and land transportation, as well as serving as a one-stop logistic hub for customers' domestic and international shipments. The addition of cold chain as well as trading and convenience retail logistic capabilities has given Tasco a competitive advantage on other logistic players, helping strengthen their position in the market. Similarly, Tionam provides fully integrated logistics services encompassing warehouse space and warehouse management services, trucking delivery and also cross-border transfer, as well as last mile delivery for e-commerce companies. This gives both Tasco and Tionam the benefits of the economies of scale as their operating expenses are managed more effectively. Next, due to significant capital requirements, which means that there are high significant costs involved and might burden new entrants. As of 2019, Tasco has a total cold room storage capacity of 37,000 pallets as well as over 190 refrigerated trucks, and it is estimated that the entire third-party logistic cold chain sector currently comprises about 120,000 pallet positions nationwide. This solidifies Tasco's position as a major player in the cold chain. Meanwhile, Tionam are supported by 83 warehouses and has a fleet size of 2,000 plus transportation vehicles, which including prime movers, box and refrigerated trucks and low loader. These substantial capital requirements are sufficient to deter a potential competitor from entering the market. Then the need for distribution facilities. A large network of distribution centers is required to serve the nearing geographies. Tasco now has 26 logistic centers in Malaysia and also a part of the global network using logistic company having 578 locations. As for Tionam, they have extended their distribution center across Malaysia's borders into Singapore and Thailand. The second aspect for quarters 5 bosses is that the threat of substitution might arise because of a change in service quality, an increase in freight rates, or an increase in transit time. This will cause customers to switch to new substitutes if service is delayed or quality is compromised and freight rates are comparable. Although Tasco provides quality services and has built fundamentals such as competitive pricing, innovative solution and flexible resources, they face continued substitution threats each day. Yonam and many other companies has expressed the same or better services as reasons for customers to go to them. The implication is that the level of service people receive is important and the company that provides the best service has a better chance of winning the business. Then the bargaining power of buyer. The logistics industry is based on two main pillars, which is price and service quality. As competition is high, the buyer's bargaining power in relation to freight prices has increased, especially for corporate clients. This is because corporations have more leverage as there are large volumes of freight and low switching costs. Tasco has many different customers that use their services. This includes importer or exporter, clearing agent and manufacturer of goods. Tasco also attract multinational corporation MNC simply because they have been impressed by Tasco connection to the very strong Usain Global Logistic Network and as they offer of consistently high standards and quality services. MNC customer also drawn in by the fact that they can readily tap the expertise of any type of Tasco network personnel anywhere in the world for advice on end-to-end supply chain solution. Meanwhile, Tionam has comprehensive facility which enable them to serve a broad variety of customers consisting of world-renowned brand across sectors such as food and beverage sector and information technology. The group's client base also increased in the number of prominent MNC. Both Tasco and Tionam face the risk of losing their key customers due to macroeconomic downturn, other market condition and stiff competition. This concludes that overall bargaining power of customers is high. After that, the bargaining power of supplier. Suppliers in the logistics, which include freight transportation, industry cover a wide range which are fuel, packaging materials and repair services. The automobile industry, which provides lightweight vehicles, forklift, trucks and crane is one of the suppliers for the companies. Due to the abundance of these suppliers on the market, they are chosen based on their price differences and their bargaining power is relatively low because it is more cost effective for logistic companies like Tasco and Tionam to buy transportation vehicles in bulk from a single company. Lastly, the intensity of rivalry among competitors in the industry. The industry is highly competitive, especially in periods of low or no macroeconomic growth due to the presence of the internationally renowned players like FedEx and DHL. The competition is high in logistics and supply chain. There are some of the competitors that have greater financial resources or they are subsidized or controlled by foreign governments, allowing them to raise capital more quickly. With the revolution of the internet, the competition in industry becoming more intense. The demand for larger and smarter warehouses and logistics centers to meet the needs of the entire supply chain is expected to skyrocket. So, Tasco have collaborated with a company to launch an e-commerce platform that will help both their customers and the group to promote their services in market. As of Tionam, they will continue to build up their last mile delivery service called Instant to ride on the strong growth of the e-commerce sector and expands its regional distribution network to capture opportunities from rising regional trade. In conclusion, internal competition in the industry is extremely high and due to a lack of differentiation, companies compete on price and service quality. Okay, that's all from me. Let's proceed to the next presenter.
Hi, I'm Afiza. Now I will explain more about vertical analysis. In 2017, more than half of Tasco Berhad total assets are in the form of current asset, 53.2%, whereas 63.5% of Tionam total assets are represented by non-current asset. For non-current asset, 45.9% are in terms of PPE for Tasco Berhad, where 57% for Tionam. For current asset, Tasco Berhad and Tionam Berhad have 53.2% and 36.5% respectively. Tasco Berhad has a higher liquidity position with cash of 15.9% compared of Tionam with cash of 0.8%. In terms of liability, Tionam has more total asset liability 59.2%, then Tesco Berhad 33.5%. The 22.2% and 11.7% are in terms of loan and borrowing in non-current asset and current liability respectively, and another 12.4% is trade and other payable. Tesco Berhad has only 25 current liability and 8.5 non-current liabilities. In overall, Tesco Berhad is higher financed by equity, where we can see 66.5% of total asset, whereas Tionam is highly financed by debt, where 59.2% of their total assets are financed by liability. In 2018, the larger portion of both company total assets are in the form of non-current asset, where 63.2% for Tesco Berhad and 65.6% for Tionam. 51.6% are in terms of PPE for Tesco Berhad, whereas 60.6% for Tionam. For current asset, Tesco Berhad and Tionam has 36.8 and 34.4 respectively. Tesco Berhad has a higher liquidity position with cash of 10.7 compared to Tionam with cash of 0.7%. In terms of liability, Tionam has more total liabilities 60.1% than Tesco Berhad 51.4%. 29.8% and 16.5% are in terms of loan and borrowing in non-current asset and current liability respectively, and another 11.5% is trade and another payable. Tesco Berhad only has 21.1% in current liability and 30.33% in non-current liabilities. In overall, both Tesco Berhad and Tionam are highly financed by debt with 51.4% and 60.1% respectively of their total asset being financed by liability.
Hi, I'm Safwa and I will explain on the vertical analysis for year 2019. The large portion of both companies' total assets are in the form of non-current assets, where 71% for Tesco Berhad and 73% for Tionam. 61% are in terms of PPE for Tesco Berhad, whereas 62% for Tionam. For current assets, Tesco Berhad and Tionam have 28% and 26% respectively. Tesco Berhad has a higher liquidity position with cash of 9% compared with to Tionam with cash less than 1%. In terms of liability, Tionam has more total liabilities with 62% than Tesco Berhad with 56%. Tionam, which has 30% and 20% in terms of loans and borrowing in non-current liabilities and current liabilities respectively, and another 8% is trade and other payable. Tesco Berhad, on the other hand, has only 90% current liabilities and 36% in non-current liabilities. Both Tesco Berhad and Tionam are highly financed by debt with 51% and 62% respectively of their total assets being financed by liability.
Ratio is divided into three: profitability, leverage, and liquidity ratios. Hi everyone, I'm Najwa. I will explain to you about profitability ratio. Firstly, net profit margin. The net profit margin for Tesco Berhad and Tionam Berhad decreased from 2017 to 2019. For Tesco Berhad, net profit margin decreased due to profit decrease from 2017 to 2018 due to increase in finance costs, where their MA of the cold chain logistic businesses are fully financed by bank borrowings. The drastic decrease of profit from 2018 to 2019 is due to the entry into new logistic area and higher interest costs, as their acquisition of cold chain was fully financed by bank borrowing. While the amount of sale decreased constantly throughout the year 2017 to 2018. On the other hand, for Tionam, the net profit margin decreased due to decrease of profit throughout the year 2017 to 2019. The decrease in profit in 2017 to 2018 is due to setup and operating costs incurred for new warehouse and subsidiaries. For 2018 to 2019, there are drastic changes in profit due to property development segment and preliminary losses, as the newly commenced operation of Fraser Place Puteri Harbour while the amount of sale decreased constantly throughout the year 2017 to 2019. In conclusion, Tasco Berhad has a better net profit margin. Next, total asset turnover. The total asset turnover profit margin for Tasco Berhad show a decreasing trend, while Tiong-Nam Logistic Holding Berhad show a fluctuating trend. It increased from year 2017 to 2018, then decreased from year 2018 to 2019. Tasco Berhad show a steady decreasing trend as there is steady amount of increase in total asset and sales throughout the year 2017 to 2019. The decreasing trend is caused by the increase of total asset, which is largely caused by the increase in property, plant and equipment, but there is not much of improvement of changes of sale. This shows the inability of the firm to generate sales through the use of the asset. Tiong-Nam show an increasing trend from 2017 to 2018 due to increase in sales and asset. The decrease of total asset turnover from the year 2018 to 2019 is due to increase in asset but decrease in sales. The decrease in sales is due to completion of Pine Tree Marine Resort and the group caution, which is wait and see approach on new launches in light of the soft of Malaysian property market. In conclusion, we can see that Tasco Berhad has a better total asset turnover compared to Tiong-Nam Logistic. ROE for both company decreased from 2017 to 2019. For Tasco Berhad, the decrease of ROE is due to decrease in profit from 2017 to 2018 due to increase in finance costs as their recent MA of the cold chain logistic businesses were fully financed by bank borrowings. Drastic decrease of profit from 2018 to 2019 due to their entry into new logistic area and higher interest costs as their acquisition of cold chain was fully financed by bank borrowing, while the equity increased consistently from year 2017 to 2019. On the other hand, we can see for Tiong-Nam, the amount of sale decreased steadily throughout the year 2017 to 2019. However, the decrease in profit in 2017 to 2018 is due to setup and operating costs incurred for new warehouse and subsidiaries. From 2018 to 2019, there are drastic changes in profit due to property development segment and preliminary losses as their newly commenced operation of Fraser Place Puteri Harbour. While the equity is increased from 2017 to 2018, then decreased from 2018 to 2019. The decrease in equity because of lower return earning and acquisition of non-controlling interest without change in control. In conclusion, Tasco Berhad has better ROE compared to Tiong-Nam since the ROE is higher. The operating income ratio for both companies show decreasing trend from year 2017 to 2019. For Tasco Berhad, although the net sale and other income increased, but the admin and general expenses on COGS also increased. Hence, operating income ratio decreased but in a constant manner. For Tiong-Nam, it showed a drastic decrease in trend. For 2018 to 2018, we can see the net sales increased, other income increased, but the admin and general expenses, also the COGS increased. Hence, the operating income margin ratio decreased drastically. But for 2018-2019, the net sales, other income, COGS, expenses decreased, resulting in a decreased operating income. So the decreased operating income margin ratio. In conclusion, Tiong-Nam has better operating income ratio compared to Tasco because higher operating income. The ROA for both companies decreased from year to year. For Tasco Berhad, the decrease of ROA is due to decrease of profit from 2017 to 2018 caused by increase in finance costs as the recent MA of the cold chain logistic business were fully financed by bank borrowings. The drastic decrease of profit from 2018 to 2019 due to their entry into new logistic area and higher interest costs as their acquisition of cold chain was fully financed by bank borrowings, while the asset increased consistently from year 2017 to 2019. On the other hand, for Tiong-Nam, the amount of asset increased steadily throughout the year 2017 to 2019. However, the decrease in profit before tax in 2017 to 2018 due to setup of operating costs incurred for new warehouse and subsidiaries. For 2018 to 2019, there are drastic changes in profit due to property development segment and preliminary losses as their newly commenced operation of Fraser Place Puteri Harbour. In conclusion, Tasco Berhad has a better ROA compared to Tiong-Nam Logistics since the ROA is higher.
Assalamualaikum and hi, I'm Sefwa, and I will explain on the leverage ratio. The first one is debt ratio. Based on our analysis, there is an increasing trend in debt ratio for both companies from 2017 to 2019. This shows that the percentage of total assets that are financed by debt for both companies are high. As for Tasco Berhad, the debt ratio increased drastically from 2017 to 2018 due to a large increase in the amount of bank term loan and other loans and borrowings taken by the company to finance the assets of the company. From 2018 to 2019, the debt ratio shows significant increase because the company made an additional loans and borrowings to finance its asset. For Tiangnam Logistics Holding Berhad, the debt ratio increased in constant manner throughout the year of 2017 to 2019 due to steady increase in the amount of loans and borrowing taken by the company during those 3 years to finance the assets of the company. Overall, we can say that Tasco has a better debt ratio for those 3 years compared to Tiangnam, despite Tasco showing a drastic increase in debt ratio from 2017 to 2019. Next, we move to the debt to equity ratio. From our analysis, both companies showed an increasing trend in this ratio from year to year. For Tasco Berhad, there was a drastic increase from 2017 to 2018 before showing a significant increase from 2018 to 2019 in this ratio. This is because there was a large increase in the amount of bank term loans that represent more than half of the company's liabilities compared to the company's equity that only increased steadily from 2017 to 2019. As for Tiangnam Logistics Holding Berhad, the debt to equity ratio increased in constant manner throughout the year of 2017 to 2019 due to both the amount of loans and borrowings taken by the company and also the amount of company share capital and other equity increased steadily during those 3 years. Overall, Tasco has a better debt to equity ratio compared to Tiangnam. Last but not least, time interest earned. Based on our analysis, both companies show a decreasing trend for this ratio from year to year. As for Tasco Berhad, there was a drastic decrease from 2017 to 2018 before showing a significant decrease from 2018 to 2019. This is because there was a large increase in interest expense for term loan from 2017 to 2019 compared to earning before interest and tax or EBIT of the company, which only show a significant increase from 2017 to 2018 and then a significant decrease from 2018 to 2019. As for Tiangnam Logistics Holding Berhad, there was a constant decrease in times interest earn ratio throughout the year of 2017 to 2019. This is because there was a significant decrease in EBIT of the company, and at the same time, the interest expense of the finance liability increased significantly throughout the year of 2017 to 2019. Overall, Tasco has a better time interest earn ratio compared to Tiangnam. I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, next I will explain about liquidity ratio. The first one is current ratio. Current ratio is to determine short-term debt paying ability. In some industry, a current ratio sensitivity below 2 is adequate, while other industry require a much larger ratio. Based on the chart above, we can see that the current ratio for Tasco Berhad and Tiangnam Logistics Holding Berhad has decreased over the year. The decreased trend happened due to the increase of liability every year. This is because both companies significantly increase the amount of loan and borrowing every year. Therefore, both companies have a lower ability to settle the short-term paying debt ability using the current asset. Besides that, Tesco Berhad has a higher current ratio in 2017 until 2019 compared to Tionam. Thus, it shows that in every year, Tesco has a better position to pay the creditor back compared to Tionam. The higher current ratio doesn't mean that the company has a better position, but somehow the higher current ratio may indicate that the company is not efficiency using its current asset or short-term financing facilities. Next, acid test ratio. The acid test ratio relate the most liquid asset to current liability. For many years, the guideline for the minimum acid test ratio was 1. Some industry find that a ratio less than 1 is adequate, while others need a ratio greater than 1. Based on the chart above, it can be concluded that the acid ratio test for Tesco Berhad is better than Tionam, which exceed 1 even though it's decreased but it is immaterial. The acid ratio for the Tionam Logistics is lower than 1. Thus, it shows that the company didn't have enough liquidity asset to pay the current liabilities. It means that the company current asset is highly dependent on inventory. Lastly is working capital. The working capital of a business is indication of the short-run solvency of the business. The current working capital amount should be compared with the past amount to determine if the current capital is reasonable. Based on the chart, Tesco Berhad has a positive working capital. Therefore, it is indicate that the company can fund its current operation and invest in future activities and growth, while Tionam has a positive working capital in 2017 and 2018, but in 2019 the working capital is negative. In 2018 and 2019, the working capital for Tesco decreased, but it is immaterial. This may be due to the increase in liability in terms of loan and borrowing, and some of current assets remain the same figure. In 2019, the working capital for Tionam dropped to a negative amount. This is because the company significantly increased the amount of loan and borrowing. Besides that, the current asset is decreasing due to the decrease in inventory and having reclassification in some items. That's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, so now let's take a look at the short-term future prospects of both companies for the year 2020 and 2021. Okay, so first and foremost, in terms of sustainability in the market, we believe that both companies are able to sustain and grow even further in the market, as they are among the veteran companies in the market. Hence, they could enjoy the economies of scale as a result of effective and efficient management of their operating expenses. Moreover, both companies have a really huge network of distributions in providing their logistics and warehouse services to better serve their customers. Besides that, the net profit margin of both companies will increase dramatically in 2020 and 2021. This is because the companies are offering the e-commerce services, whereby e-commerce is one of few services that are highly demanded in the market. As e-commerce also become one of the essential services in Malaysia, both companies should continue to capitalize on their opportunities on the e-commerce segment by offering the best e-commerce services to their clients and customers. Last but not least, with the unprecedented pandemic threat from the COVID-19 disease, both companies are expected to survive and even could be benefited from this pandemic, since logistic and e-commerce business would not be affected by the movement control order or total lockdown that are imposed by the government. This is because both businesses are a part of the essential services that are allowed to continue their operation even during the MCO. Okay, to sum up, based on the overall industry and financial analysis of Tesco Berhad and Tionam Logistics Holding Berhad, it can be concluded that Tesco Berhad performance was slightly better than Tionam Logistics Holding Berhad from 2017 up until 2019. This is because, based on the industry analysis, Tesco Berhad ventured into a more demanding and futuristic business, which refers to the cold chain logistic business, as the addition of cold chain has given Tesco a competitive advantage over their logistic players, helping the business to cement its position of strength in the marketplace. Moreover, based on the financial analysis of Tesco Berhad, from 2017 to 2019, they show a better trend which resulted in a better financial performance than Tionam Logistics Holding Berhad.
That's all from us. Thank you.